Welcome to the know. I'm Ashley. Just a couple days after dropping a bit of a racial slur, which was its own shitstorm that kickstarted a big kerfuffle over DMCA takedowns, Pewdiepie has issued an apology video for comments he recently made on his stream. Pewdiepie said in his video, "I'm disappointed in myself because it seems like I've learned nothing from all these past controversies. It's not like I think I can say or do whatever I want and get away with it. That's not it at all. I'm just an idiot. But that doesn't make what I said or how I said it okay. I'm really sorry if I offended, hurt, or disappointed anyone with all of this. Being in the position I am, I should know better. I can't keep messing up like this." Now, this is not the first apology video that Pewds has made after events have transpired. He made one after the sign incident earlier this year, but it is nice to see an apology from him and an acknowledgement that he felt like he was in the wrong there. Shadowrun was a cult classic on the Xbox 360, but is it possible we might be seeing a follow-up on Xbox One? According to Team Dragonpunk, the creators of popular Ark Survival Evolved mod Tribe of Gods, that could actually be the case, and they've actually talked with Microsoft about making it for them. In an interview with the Gaming Ground, team lead Daniel Connery said they've pitched a next-gen project called Shadowrun Anthologies to Microsoft, which would include traditional Shadowrun campaigns, new chapters, and even player-created mods. It would also be an action RPG in the vein of Mass Effect with multiplayer elements like Destiny. Interestingly enough, Connery refers to this new game as an Xbox One X exclusive, which is a little bit different than Microsoft's current MO, which is building a library that's accessible no matter which generation you're on. So we'll see if that turns out to be something more, if it's wishful thinking from one of the group of developers, if it was potentially misspeak. We'll see. Either way, it does sound interesting. We've been getting rumors for weeks, and now it's official. Y'all, Okami HD is real, and it's coming to PS4, Xbox One, and PC later this year. No word on a Switch edition yet, but fingers crossed. However, if you want a physical version of the adventure game, that will only be available for PS4, while the digital release will be for all the platforms. Now, if you're wondering about its improvements, Okami HD supports 4K resolution on PS4 Pro, which I'm sure is just stunning. Oh, and also on PC and Xbox One X. Plus, players will have the option to choose aspect ratios. So if you really want to keep it old school, you can go all with the 4:3. That's what hardcore players do, I guess. But I'm just not going to be one of them. I'm going to play it in beautiful 16:9. Anyway, Okami HD is dropping on December 12th, so not far away. It'll be in time for the holidays. It's going to be $19.99 for the physical version, or I think a lot of people will love this, $14.99 for the digital version. A lot of people have been asking for cheaper digital prices for a long time. So at least one title is doing them. The long-awaited 2D Metroid, Samus Returns, is finally out this week. I mean, it's a 3DS game, but it's a start. It's a remake, but it's a start, and we know we're getting Metroid Prime 4, so now I can be a little bit patient. The reviews are dropping for the classic series return to form. Right now, Samus Returns is sporting an 88 on Metacritic and OpenCritic, and critics really seem to love it. The general consensus from the reviews is that Samus Returns is a delight that brings Metroid back in a big way, and that it might even be one of the best Metroids since Super Metroid. Polygon said in its 9 out of 10 review, "To call a Metroid Samus Returns a remake feels unfair. Remakes are old games with new coats of paint, an upgrade in resolution here, reworked artwork there. Samus Returns is far more than that. It's a top-to-bottom reimagining, bringing the bones of a game that's over 25 years old into the modern era with fantastic results." Super excited. Samus Returns releases on Friday, September 15th, and it's sounding pretty good if you've been waiting for Metroid for a while. If you've got burned by Nintendo's NES Classic supply blunder earlier this year, and if you were not the only one, but you may be in luck because Nintendo has just announced that it's bringing back the sold-out retro console in 2018. In a new press release, the company unveiled new plans to exhume the NES Classic and put it back on store shelves sometime next summer, with more precise details about the dates coming in the future. They also said that while they plan to stop the SNES Classic production this calendar year, they're also increasing the scope for that console as well, with shipments now scheduled to continue into 2018. Remember, one of the things that scared people most about the SNES Classic and why there's been such a run on pre-orders is they didn't say they had any plans to continue making it after the end of 2017. So this is good news. Seems like maybe Nintendo's seen the Mad Max retro gaming apocalypse they've created and might actually be doing something about it. Well, fingers crossed, but either way, this is a good sign. We've got our latest in what will no doubt be a line of copycats trying to capitalize on the popularity of PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds, and this time it's Fortnite. Epic just announced that their co-op base building game will also be getting its own Battle Royale PvP mode, where 100 players will be dropped into a map via Battle Bus. However, it does depart from PUBG in a couple of ways. For one, since this is Fortnite, players can fortify mini bases and set traps to snare or kill their enemies, so very Fortnite there. Fortnite Battle Royale is launching September 26th, so if you're interested in checking it out, well, not long to wait. If you've been dying to see what's next from Stardew Valley publisher Chucklefish, well, they are finally starting to pull back the curtain a little bit on their next game, which is basically like Harry Potter or Little Witch Academia meets Stardew Valley. Sounds amazing just when you put it that way. In a new interview with PC Gamer, the company gives a few precious details about the unannounced and unnamed title. According to them, the Wizarding School game will include a lot of different kinds of magic and crafting and potion making and farming systems to bring those Stardew Valley-like tasks to a different setting. On top of that, they also emphasize that the game captures the nostalgia of school life as much as possible. Expect memorable moments drawn from our own experience, what we think players will relate to. On top of that, we're diving headfirst into the fantasy of what's only possible at a magical school. So basically, someone's gonna use fart spray on my backpack and it's gonna smell terrible all of here. Well, sign me up, as long as I can be a witch about it. The bad news just keeps on coming for Lawbreakers. Now, we've already reported that the game recently dropped below 500 concurrent players on Steam, which is not great considering it's just about a month after launch, but now it's gotten worse, like way worse. Over the past few days, the concurrent player count has been dropping below 50 on Steam. Yeah, that's 2 digits, that's 50. Last we checked, it was back up to 145 players, so that's good, but it's not probably enough good. Lawbreakers isn't being abandoned though. Its 1.3 patch is out now on PlayStation 4 and PC, and it includes a number of gameplay tweaks and a new tutorial section, which should make those 50 to 150 players very happy. Either way, it's not the end of the game necessarily. We've seen Rainbow Six Siege come back. We've seen The Division come back after having big player drop-offs right after launch, so entirely possible. We've all overslept and been late to things. Yes, that's like me every day. But for some pro Counter-Strike players, sleeping in just costs them a lot of money. The esports team Immortals showed up late to a Counter-Strike Global Offensive finals match at DreamHack Montreal over the weekend, which forced them to forfeit the first game in a best-of-3 match. They subsequently lost the match to their opponents, Team North, who ended up winning $50,000. One of the Immortals players said the team was late because they overslept due to jet lag. Sounds like the team's leader isn't too happy about the situation either. Immortals CEO Noah Winston tweeted, "We will address this internally. Actions should have consequences." That's a paddling. Say what you will about Lucasfilm, but when they fire a Star Wars director, they don't waste any time naming a replacement. After recently parting ways with Colin Trevorrow, the studio announced J.J. Abrams is going to return to the franchise to write and direct Episode 9. Abrams, of course, directed Episode 7, The Force Awakens, and in a statement, Lucasfilm boss Kathleen Kennedy said he delivered everything we could have possibly hoped for, and I am so excited that he is coming back to close out this trilogy. Trevorrow and Lucasfilm parted ways over creative differences, and interestingly, Deadline says that the job of directing Episode 9 was initially offered to Rian Johnson, who just finished up on Episode 8, which is coming out later this year, but Johnson apparently turned them down, which led them to go with Abrams. And while not everyone loved Episode 7, Abrams is a safe choice to round out the latest trilogy, gotta give him that, and personal hopes, this is just total speculation, but that there were a lot of accusations with Episode 7 that it was retreading a lot of the original trilogy material, but it's also possible that that was to sort of bring everyone back into the nostalgia of the original trilogy and sort of put the prequels off to the side, and now maybe he can take that foundation and build. Well, fingers crossed anyway. He is a safe choice. Speaking of directors, it's official, Patty Jenkins will return to make the Wonder Woman sequel. This was pretty expected after Wonder Woman was a smash hit, but apparently Jenkins has been negotiating with Warner Brothers over her pay for directing a sequel. Deadline said she wanted to be paid substantially more than she was the first time, and she's worth it. The first Wonder Woman is one of this year's biggest hits and is the highest grossing live action film directed by a woman ever, so yeah, Patty Jenkins got paid, and deservedly so. We've heard rumors that the sequel could take place in the 1980s during the Cold War. No one's really giving any details yet. Jenkins is currently working on the script with DC Comics president Jeff Johns, and the movie's scheduled to hit theaters in late 2019, so it may be a few months before we hear too much more about it. If a monkey takes a selfie, Who owns the photo? That was the big legal question after PETA sued on behalf of a monkey named Naruto who snapped several selfies using a camera that was set up in an Indonesian rainforest reserve. The camera's owner, photographer David Slater, then published the photos in a book, which prompted this very unique copyright case. But it looks like the two sides have finally come to an agreement. Slater agreed to donate 25% of any future revenue to charities that protect the crested macaque monkey, and PETA says it'll ask for the case to be dismissed, which is probably good. I mean, that monkey would have just blown the monkey on bananas and hookers anyway. You know how monkeys are. Anyway, that's the news we have for this roundup. Let us know what you think of these stories in the comments down below. To make sure you get news from every corner of the internet every day, like this video. If you're new around here, subscribe to the know. Got all the monkey news you can handle. And hookers. According to Team Dragonpunk, the creators of popular Ark Survival Evolved mauled, bringing the bones of a game that's over 25 years old to, other than that, it's basically PUBG Fortnite Battle Royale. It's launching on September 26th. Never mind, those were different words.